Hello everybody, how you doing today? My name's Aquilla Fleetwood, and I want to go over a word picture and some scriptures in the Bible about Abraham and Sarah. And of course, Abraham was originally called Abram, and Sarah was originally called Sarai. And kind of go over why their names were changed, and what were the consequences of Hagar having a son by Abraham, who was then Ishmael, and through Ishmael came Islam, the Muslim religion, and the horrible consequences that the fact that Abraham and Sarah lacked faith and had Hagar bear Abraham a son instead of going ahead and believing what they had been told. The consequences of that has really ended up tragic for this world. Now, we know that the last letter in Paleo-Hebrew, and I'm writing this in Paleo-Hebrew because you can see the picture. Modern Hebrew, you can forget it for the most part. You can't see a picture in it. When the Jews were taken into Babylon, they changed up their script that God gave them, obviously, this Paleo-Hebrew script. And there were pictures in it. The pictures themselves are telling you something. But they unfortunately changed up the script, and it even changed since then to modern Hebrew. And most of the modern Hebrew letters, you can't really see much of a picture at all. Maybe partial on a couple of letters, a few of them. But let's talk about this Abram. So in Genesis 11:26, you see this name Abram, and he was the son of Terah. Okay, and then in Genesis 12:22, Abram was told he would be the father of a great nation, singular. Well, then Abraham and Sarah, they both showed lack of faith. Sarah even laughed, at when she first heard that she was going to conceive. Both of them were way up in their years. Sarah was past her conceiving years, so she laughed. Well, the son that she ended up having, Isaac, meant laughter, which probably most of you knew that. So that's kind of interesting in and of itself. Isaac, it's like, Sarah, you laughed and you shouldn't have done that. And that's correct. She shouldn't have done that. So in Genesis 11:9, we see Sarai, who indeed begot Isaac. And Sarai means quarrelsome. Well, she kind of was quarrelsome about it. She didn't believe. They both lacked faith in what they had been told would happen. They lacked faith in the power of God. So in Genesis 17:15, then God gave her the name Sarah, which indeed means princess. And there's reasons why this letter was changed. There's a letter that was inserted. Of course, the letter Hey became this letter H, and it's a feminine letter. And of course, she's female. And in Hebrew, you have masculine and feminine names. But let's look at Yahweh. And you can kind of see, because Yahweh in word picture ties into all this. This is Yahweh written in Paleo-Hebrew. Yud, Hey, Vav, Hey are the letters. You may have heard of that. Now this letter Hey is a man standing up with his arms lifted up, wanting you to behold something. And this is actually a symbol of Christ. Because remember Isaiah 7:14 talking about, he shall be called Emmanuel, a child shall be born, the virgin, shall conceive, and all that stuff. And Isaiah 9:6, a child shall be born, he shall be called the Prince of Peace, everlasting Father. Well, this is Christ. He's wanting you to behold the nail and behold the hand of God. Well, what does the nail and the hand of God have to do with Jesus Christ? Well, he is God, God in the flesh. And they drove a nail through his hands and through his feet. And you can see this Vav, this nail, in this word picture here. But this is a symbol of Christ, and this is a letter that God inserted into the names. Abraham. Abraham. There's that letter right there. See it? And then Sarah. There's that other one right there. Inserted into their names. And while I'm at it, this is the Northern Cross right here. I probably showed it. I went ahead and kind of colored this in with some erasable marker. But this is the Northern Cross in our night sky, which is the last letter of the Paleo-Hebrew alphabet, Taw, which is a symbol of a mark or a sign or a covenant. Mark, seal, sign, or covenant, actually. So, the difference between Sarai and Sarah spells a very interesting combination, because Yah in the flesh was going to come through the lineage of Abraham and Sarah, all the way down through Mary, who was the virgin. What she conceived of was from the Holy Spirit. So the difference between this word Sarah and Sarah, first Sarah has a symbol of Christ in it, and the difference of it spells a short form of Yahweh. See it? Right here? Yah. And that's in her name. So there's quite a bit more to just strictly changing it from a great nation singular to father of many nations. And there's more to it than just changing it from quarrelsome to princess. Even though that has a lot to do with it, but it has a lot to do with Christ. Anyway, I hope you enjoy this Hebrew word picture. I know it sounds a little bit complicated. I've been studying this for years, and I almost gave up on it at first because I thought it was just too complicated for me to learn. But I've managed, by the help of God, to learn quite a bit about it. Y'all have a great day. Thank you.